Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny. Last week I went over Bungie's plans for Destiny 3's development as leaked by infamous Reddit user Anon9 when he responded to a Reddit thread of mine on the topic. So far Anon9 has been 100% correct about everything he or she has leaked about Destiny 2, right down to revealing the fact that the Thunderlord quest, which is currently going on, would be a 3-week-long event, and in fact that has been now confirmed by Bungie in the latest This Week at Bungie update. At least the whole 3-week part, not necessarily the Thunderlord, but it's a pretty safe bet. So it looks like Anon9 is the real deal. I'm fully convinced that we have a real leaker on our hands. There really is no question there. But Anon9 has hit us with another leak a few days ago, and this one is a bit concerning, and that is that even though Destiny 3 isn't planned to be released until fall of 2020, there is no major expansion planned for fall of 2019. But is that actually okay? And would another major expansion just be a waste of time? Let's get into it. Before we start, I want to give a huge thanks to everyone who watched, liked, and especially to those who commented on last week's video on the Destiny 3 leaks. It's always fun discussing that stuff with all of you. If you missed that video, definitely check it out by hitting that I in the upper corner. I'll also leave a link to it down below. Also, as a huge disclaimer, be sure to remember that all of this is technically hearsay, even though it's a pretty reliable leak. None of this has been confirmed by Bungie, so just be sure to take it with a grain of salt. Now, in that post, I posed the idea that Destiny 3 should be in development right now if it's going to be done in time for a fall 2020 release. And to hold us over until then, we can likely expect a fall 2019 major expansion at the same size and scope as Forsaken, complete with its own annual pass. In a separate Reddit thread by user MJ Hushpuppy, Anon replied with, "There isn't a common expansion after Forsaken." Anon went on to clarify that there would simply be another annual pass, and that the majority of the team will be working on Destiny 3. Definitely a bit of a bombshell, so that means that after Penumbra, the third and final release from the Forsaken annual pass, Bungie will not release another Forsaken-size expansion, but will simply put out a second Forsaken annual pass, which will then span fall of 2019 through summer of 2020. So of course this might sound kinda lame at first, but the thing to remember is that we don't really know all the details yet, far from it. There could still be a larger injection of content to kick off the next annual pass, maybe like with a new destination, maybe a new raid, who knows. It's hard to tell right now, but I can see the predicament that it puts Bungie in. Bungie faces exact situation in Destiny 1. The Taken King came out in fall of 2015, and in January of 2016, they began development on Destiny 2 after they had to reboot the entire project. It was originally slated to release in fall of 2016, but 9 months wasn't going to be enough time for an entire game to be developed, so they pushed it back by a year to fall of 2017, which is what we got. However, 9 months was enough time for them to work on another smaller expansion, which became Rise of Iron. Yes, Rise of Iron and Destiny 2 started development at the exact same time. Think on that for a little bit. Now, Rise of Iron wasn't as big as the Taken King, but it didn't need to be. All it was meant to do was to buy Bungie another year. It had a couple of small updates after its release, but then by the next spring, Bungie had released the Destiny 2 information, and people's attention very quickly shifted over. Then that summer, Bungie put out Age of Triumph, which was just kind of bringing forward a lot of the old events, and that wrapped things up pretty nicely. So let me paint you this scenario. Fall 2019 kicks off another annual pass, with its first update adding a brand new destination, maybe an extension of Titan or the EDZ. We get new characters, new endgame activities, and a ton of new gear. Now, they would likely need a new raid of some kind, but Bungie might have to get a little creative with that. After that, the second DLC would be coming out in winter, and then the third one in the following spring. This is when Bungie reveals D3 and launches another Age of Triumph type event, where all the raids and the raid layers are brought forward with the then current power and brand new loot. Then we're essentially where we were with Destiny 2, we're following all the news, we're playing betas, all that good stuff, and of course anticipating a fall 2020 release. Now, we still have to wait for Black Armory to get a real sense of what these annual pass DLCs will actually bring us, but I could totally be okay without a campaign or a whole new destination. As long as there is awesome new gear to chase and fun new activities every single time, I'm totally okay with that. Now, there is one kind of big caveat to me accepting this model, and that is that Destiny 3 better be worth the sacrifice. I want all new destination, an awesome story, etc., all that stuff that we expect, everything we got in Forsaken, but scale it up to a full release. Imagine that. Imagine getting 4 to 5 destinations like the Dreaming City, each with unique blind well escalation protocol-like activities. Bungie needs to seriously bring their A-game with D3, and at least for me, that would definitely be worth the trade-off. Now, I can't end the video without mentioning Savathun. Savathun is of course a major villain in D2, and if we're to get a second major expansion in fall of 2019, as in if Anon the 9 is mistaken, I would bet that the big bad would be none other than Savathun herself. So what happens to that story? Well, we're assuming that she isn't planned for this year. I mean, we've already confronted her daughter, Dal Unkaru, in the Shattered Throne dungeon, so maybe she will be in year 2, maybe she'll be in year 3, she might be the raid in year 3. The point is that we don't know what Bungie has planned. And really, I wouldn't be too worried about it. With the way they're amping up Savathun, I'm sure they're going to handle it just fine. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments and give me your prediction on when you think we're going to face off against Savathun. As always, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to Nerd On for my continued Destiny content every single Friday. Thanks for watching, happy gaming, and I will see you all next time.